The perspective of the police, they're called to a lot of incidents they weren't called to in the past, but increasingly in today's society, mental health issues, health-related matters that they never got involved in the past, but now they do because of all kinds of health and safety concerns around staff in these care homes and other facilities. They call the police in, the police have to deal with it. Now, as we understand it, this 92-year-old man, Donald Burgess, was a resident in this care home in St Leonards-on-Sea in June this year, when the care staff said that he had a knife and he was threatening staff. They couldn't get the knife off him, and then they called the police. The police turned up. The issue really is about the level of force that was used to get that knife off him. Now, you wouldn't think that someone of 93 years of age would be, particularly robust, given that they were also wheelchair-bound, one-legged man with dementia. We just don't know. But they did spray him with incapacitant spray, the Pava spray. Then he was struck with a baton. Then he was tasered before being handcuffed, taken to hospital, never released from hospital, and 3 weeks later he died. Now, we don't know as yet whether his death is linked to the what he experienced in the care home. There have been post-mortem examinations that have been carried out that have so far been inconclusive. They've ordered more tests. That will form part of the Independent Office for Police Conduct in any criminal investigation going forward. The two officers concerned have been put on notice, served with papers saying that they may face manslaughter charges.
Do you know, Mark, setting aside the specific details of this case, which will be tested in court, and we rely on the process to attach proportionality to these things, but what is the protocol on the deployment of tasers? I ask it because, for all it would appear at first blush that this feels like a disproportionate use of force, 93-year-old man, etc., etc. If anybody has got a knife and they're threatening their own life or those of people around them, if they've got a knife, they pose a potential threat. And I would have thought that the protocols governing the use of tasers kick in at that stage.
Yeah, if this was any other person with a knife and refusing to put down a knife, then they could expect to be tasered. Absolutely. The protocol for the use of taser is that it's there to be used to preserve life, to protect the public. So anybody that is posing a threat that doesn't respond to the officer's calls to put down that weapon or to comply with what they're being requested to do may well be tasered. There are other options open to the police officers as well. Being there in numbers sometimes can be a tactic to rush an individual. Not necessarily if they've got a knife, though. It can be clearly very dangerous. They have this Pava spray. It seems that they escalated it in terms of the force they were using against this gentleman. So it was the incapacitant spray to begin with. That obviously in the officer's eyes didn't have the desired effect. He was then hit with a baton, again didn't have the desired effect, it would seem, then tasered.